Hey guys, this is another update at my Deep Blue Professional Rimless tank, and you will see some updates here. Nothing too crazy since my last update. A few losses and one additional gain. As you can see right here, my fairy wrasse is flashing. I just turned my regular lights on because my Tinix is on currently right now, so I can shoot this video and you can see better. But every time the Tinix turn on, this Naoko fairy wrasse flashes. He changes his colors. It's a pretty awesome sight, and looks like a little shark fin on top. So I want to go over the main few losses that I had. One was his torch coral. It was slightly receding and just whimpered away over time. The frogspawn over here, it's still alive, but as you can see, it's slowly dying off. It seems like in this corner here, anything doesn't seem to live so long. I don't know if it's the flow, but the flow's there. I just don't know why, but that corner seems never to do well with torches or frog spawns. My neon cleaner goby is no longer in this tank. I can't find him and haven't seen him in a few weeks now. Could be a victim of the rose bubble tip anemone or just die of natural causes. You never know the way these fish are. You don't know how old they are when you get them and the lifespan, etc. While I have this camera focused on my tailspot blenny, if I could get close enough, his one side of his eye, if you can see here, and it's better than it has, he must have scraped it on a rock or something where, sorry about the focus, but he might have scraped it on a rock where it like bolts down, and it's been about a couple of weeks since that incident. I noticed that, but I guess the swelling of it went down, and I can notice that he still has function in that eye. Like, he was able to move it a little bit. It was just kind of bulky, and he's slowly recovering. So he might have scraped and injured himself. So that happens. If their fish are swimming around and they brush themselves against a rock, if they have an itch or something, it could happen. My borbonious is doing very well. He's growing, actually. I did add a blue jaw triggerfish female, and I know that generally you need a bigger tank. I attempted, try to get a different triggerfish like the red tail trigger, but generally they're the smallest of the triggerfish out there, the most resafe triggerfish out there. And if you have a female the size I got it at, in this type of tank, it won't grow very big at all, and these are slow growing triggers. It'll take its time to grow, so I can enjoy this fish while I have this tank, or I could always transfer this fish into a bigger tank down the road. So if it does get too big, I'll just put it online, and someone, I'm sure, will grab this fish and put it in their tank. It's a very cool fish. It eats off the stick. Triggerfish are just a very smart fish. She's definitely still shy of me. I had her for about a month, but it definitely eats from the stick and knows who I am. But still shy. It'll come out. He likes swimming around, but he hangs out in this area because he made a little home. My pearly jawfish actually made a hole over here, made a hole in the back, but now his new home is actually in here, and I don't see him right now, but he's in there. And good news about my spike fin goby. My spike fin goby actually began his entry in this tank on this side and hung underneath this rock, and somehow he made his way all the way on this side where my coral croucher, or my gumdrop fish, hangs out in this area. Where this angelfish you just seen move, he hangs in there, and then I see sometimes underneath this rock over here. Brain coral still doing okay, slightly receding, but hasn't really stopped. Hasn't really died. It had this about a year and a half, over a year and a half, almost 2 years. This coral here, so still doing pretty good. Um, I added this torch coral here. I don't know if that you've seen that in the last update, but the fish are still doing good in this tank. Again, you know, corals can always be a tough thing in this tank because the bio load I put with the fish, even though I have a great skimmer, you know, when you have a lot of fish, they poop a lot, and, you know, some corals can't handle it. My clam, I did forget to mention earlier in this video that it did pass away. It slowly had the pinch mantle disease and just eventually kicked the bucket. I did notice these like little snails, but I think they were algae snails, not pyramid snails. And it's so hard because it's so tiny and they come out at night only. And I noticed they reproduced a lot. But they find them on the glass. They say they usually if on the glass it's fine. And if the population wipes out because there's no clams, then there were actually no possibility of why my clam perished. The clown goby's still doing good, hanging out here. Royal Grandma moved on this side. The coolest thing here is that because I was feeding my rose bubble tip anemone, this watermelon bubble tip anemone, it actually split. It walked off to underneath this rock here. If you can see to the top over here, there's the split, and that's where I think the porcelain crab's hanging out. My sexy shrimper, you can see right here on the right, they're still hanging out, my pair. And the blue sponge is doing good along with the yellow sponge. My shrimp are still doing good, both of them. Gold torch is doing great. My clown goby likes hanging on the gold torch. And the angelfish is doing good as well. So, fish are doing good. The dragonface pipefish here, still doing well. And when it comes to pipefish, it's just like a mandarin. You gotta make sure they look like they're trying to eat in the tank and they're not pinched. And then they'll do good. The pair of the blue striped pipefish is doing well as well, and they're still floating around the tank along with my marginal blood of 5 fish. The pair are still no babies, but they're having a good time, these clownfish. So that's another quick update. Again, guys, nothing else too crazy that since my last update. My eel's still doing good. You know, the tank's still thriving, still doing pretty good. Coral, you know, my zoo rocks rebounding. It diminished for a while, melted for a while, and then it came back again. So, just like watching these things grow all over the year, this rock here with the polys in there, and this some cool colors when the tunics are on. So, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know about the fish or anything like that. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And stay tuned to the next video. You know, I might be back again in the market for some more coral to put in this tank because I do have some room now. Alright guys, have a good one.